Hey y'all, it's me and everything. Happy New Year. Usually I would have myself put together a little bit better than this today, but my night shower just almost took me out with what I feel like the Lord set on me. Um, and so I want to talk about it. And my friend posted something today and just reminded us to build community and really be obedient. So not wait until we perfect to share what we have for the world, and not to be repetitive and only speak the same sentiments that you hear every day. And I feel them. Shout out to Dion. I love you, bro. I feel them, and that's that with me, and that's why I am coming to you as I am getting myself together for the night, right? So some of you may know, if you have been my friend on my timeline lately, that I just experienced, my family just experienced, our loved ones just experienced a crushing loss, right? And the loss was of my cousin, but he has always been a brother to me. And the connection that I'm going to make is that this is a member of my dad's family, right? And so I'm getting myself together for the evening, and this is shirt. And really just thinking about him. He's on my mind. I still pray for him every day, even though he has transitioned on. And that's just where I am right now in my journey, right? And so I was in my shower and I was talking to God about him. And I was just saying to God, this my peer. We the same age. He was 42 years old. And just that I felt like there was so much more life in him, and that we should have had so much more time, and that there was so much more to do. And that got me thinking. He was 42 when he just went on to his heavenly home. And that broke my heart for him, because I feel like throughout his life, he had to make some choices that was above his pay grade, that was bigger than him, right? And that the life that he did have and was able to create for himself, he had to sidestep a lot of things from other people. Put a pin in that, right? And then that made me think about my dad. And my dad passed away 18 years ago. 18 years ago, I was 22 years old. And my father was 46 years old. And I've always known that. I've always known that he went on to his heavenly home at 46 years old. But now it's just starting to sit with me that my father had so much more time and so much more life in him and so much to do. Some of my closest peers are 46 right now, right? And so my heart broke again for my daddy while I was just in that shower. Because it was like, man, 46. I'm 40. And I feel like I'm young. I feel like prayerfully I got a lot more years ahead of me, right? But I also have to recognize that my dad, too, was able to build the life that he built for himself, and had to make some of the decisions that he made based on other people, in response to some of the decisions that were made for him and around him, in response to maybe some of the things that impacted him negatively and traumatized him. He had to sidestep some of those things and attempt to create a life for himself. Both of them have a similar story, other than some of the, details, but they from the same family, a family that has the same challenges. And I love my family, and I ain't putting nobody business out there, but every family has challenges, right? And that caused me to think about a few other people in the family that are no longer with us, that left us very young, that had to sidestep some things and attempt to build a life for themselves. An attempt to build a life for themselves despite some of the things that happened to and around them, despite some of the decisions that was made by the people that was, in charge of being there for them, right? And I know we do a lot of talking about it these days. I know that, it's like a buzzword and people have a lot to say. And no judgment, but I was in that shower and I was just going through it and I was really like getting sad for my people. And God said, Shannon, this is why we break the curse. And that just sat with me. That this is why we break the curse. This is why our generation is going so hard, to advocate for ourselves, to speak up, to stand up, to get the tools and the knowledge and the resources and the wisdom that we all searching and seeking out. We trying to add years on our life, right? We trying to make sure that our children don't have to sidestep some of the choices that we made and the decisions that we made so that they can build beautiful lives for themselves. But it was, me going through person after person after person in this family, and knowing this is why we break the curse. We can't undo nothing that happened already. We can't go back and, shame nobody or none of that. It's all said and done, right? But this is why we got to work so hard to make sure that we build something for those that's underneath us, to make sure that we create these environments and these spaces for our children and our children's children. And, like it's deeper. We get on here every day, people, black people, and argue about relationships and men and women and 50-50 and baby mamas and stepdaddies. And that's stupid shit. That's stupid shit, if you really want to be honest with me. And I don't even need you to pardon me. But that's dumb as hell. Because at the end of the day, what we are continuing to do is curse ours, right? Instead of being the ones responsible for powering through and driving to break the curse. It's not lost on me, right? My mother told me years ago, we was talking about some stuff, and she said, yeah, because when I lost my mother, I was 28 with 4 kids and a wild-ass husband. And my mama was right. When I thought in my mind, like, what? Baby, they would have had to put me under the hospital, not in it, underneath it. Because I'd have lost my mind, right? Being in the predicament that she was. So you don't know how much grace that made me begin to give my mother, right? That made me begin to say, like, oh my God. And me being a mother, knowing the things that I had to learn while I was doing, and then realizing all the things that my mother had to learn while she was doing, while she was 28 with 4 kids at the beginning of her career with a wild-ass husband and no mother. This is why we break the curse. This is why we break the curse. So I said a lot. I said all that to say, I'm just encouraging us, y'all, to love each other a little bit differently. Love each other a little bit more. Extend a little bit more grace to folks. You don't know what they going through or what they fought through or what hell they came from or, what they had to rummage through to make something of themselves in their life. You don't know how many hard years a person had behind them that they just trying to make sure that they got a few good years ahead of them. And when it come to yours, do everything that you need to do and everything in your power to just break the curse. I love y'all. See? Here go mine right here. I gotta go, y'all.